Welcome back to Third Phase of Moon. My name's Blake Cousins. Join me along with my brother Brent as we go on location in the Pacific Ocean looking for drones of the sea. On location at Kauai Harbor on the Big Island, we're going to be speaking with Hawaiian Operations Manager Voss Podorian. Voss, how did you come up with the idea of the wave glider? How did it come about?
The wave glider came about in an effort to transmit whale songs ashore, specifically into one of the founders' living rooms.
Can you tell us why here in Hawaii?
One of the founders actually lives here in Pu'uko. A lot of the efforts that occurred originally to pipe the whale songs into the living room really occurred there. And it was sort of a natural progression here in Pu'uko.
If you look at the design on this, it exactly resembles sky rods or the skyfish. Absolutely incredible. What is the theory behind the design?
So the main theory behind the wave glider is that we take vertical wave motion at the surface and turn it into forward motion of the vehicle. That really essentially happens with our ability to harness vertical wave motion into direct forward thrust. Very similar, really in effect to when you stick your hand out the window on the freeway and tilt it, its lift is created and creates the sort of forward motion with your hand.
What's the maximum speed that these things can travel over the surface of the water with the glider underneath?
We do somewhere typically between 1.5 and 1.8 knots.
And it's using entirely the force and the swells of the ocean to self-power itself, correct?
Absolutely. So we basically turn vertical wave motion into forward thrust.
Canada, France, and Keck are here in Hawaii, and there's something special about it, and you're here in Hawaii. Can you tell us what makes it so special?
Much for the same reasons that they're here, in the sense of the environment that it gives us for testing and evaluation. It allows us to essentially test about 300 days a year. We have the ability, being right here in Kauai, we have easy access to some very dynamic sea states. We can be right out here on the west side off of Kauai, and the weather can be very, very calm, much like it is today. We can go just a few miles out around the point, up towards Upolu Point, and be out in Alenuihaha Channel, which is a pretty intense marine environment.
Well, it's going to be quite amazing. A little bit later, we're going to be on location, going out on the boat and seeing on how the wave glider works. I can't wait, but I got a couple other questions for you. Can we take a look at the warehouse in the back?
Absolutely.
All right. The CEO of your company claims that 90% of the Earth's oceans have still yet to be discovered. We know more about space than the ocean. Do you think it's possible that these craft could capture on film, since they have the cameras, a creature that we still don't know, some kind of leviathan?
I would say that that's plausible. The vehicle is a data harvesting tool, so any number of sensors are integrated into the vehicle, so depending on what you're trying to measure and look for, I would say that it's possible, for sure.
Well, you might get lucky one of these days capturing the smoking gun footage of an amazing creature right there on the surface of the ocean.
That would be exciting. So we have the ability to communicate with the vehicle through satellite connection. That occurs through this dome here. This is an Iridium satellite connection. We have the ability to stream all of our data, as well as telemetry and communication information through that connection.
What's the lifetime of the wave glider?
They're currently, essentially we like to keep them out anywhere from 6 to 12 months.
Well, these things, what is the price range for one of these?
This vehicle, as you see it here, runs between 175 and about 200,000.
Wow, do you worry about maybe pirates out in the open ocean coming across one of these things and, taking these things out and selling it on the market?
Well, I don't think we've had any stolen that I'm aware of. They're an incredibly difficult vehicle to actually to recover if you're not trained to do it.
Boss, who is your biggest client for the wave glider?
Right now, we have essentially probably a shared market between the oil and gas business and the Department of Defense.
Wow, what is the Department of Defense using with the wave glider?
I don't know if I can answer that.
I want to talk about your biggest, or one of the biggest clients, big oil industry. If there were a natural disaster, big oil spill in the ocean, could these wave gliders help and clean in the assistance?
Absolutely. So recently we've assisted in cleanup efforts, more specifically more measurement efforts, in that it's a data harvesting tool. We have the ability to measure essentially what's in the water, and the wave glider is actually quite effective at that.
Well, speaking of getting into the water, I can't wait to get in the water and see these things in action.
Absolutely.
So we're here at the version of NASA's Mission Control Liquid Robotics right here in the state of Hawaii. Can you tell us what the data is right here on the computer screen and what's it representing?
So right now we're looking at our user interface. We're looking at a handful of vehicles right now that are out in our op area right out here west of Kauai High. From this, essentially from this screen, we have the ability to monitor the vehicle's speed over ground, path over ground, its desired heading, water speed, current speed, which it calculates, current speed and heading, which it calculates, as well as its lat and long, battery power, basically all the sort of telemetry, baseline telemetry of the vehicles. We also have the ability to essentially reprogram their courses and communicate to the vehicle through this interface. It's a web interface, so we can communicate with the vehicle anywhere you have an internet connection.
The production crew and I are briefed on safety instructions. Free diving in the Pacific is serious business. All right, boss, we're on location on the boat. How long is it going to take us to get out to the first wave glider?
About 10 to 15 minutes.
All right, well, we're on the adventure. I can't wait to get in the water. Departing from Kauai Harbor, we're in search of the wave glider, approximately 8 miles off the coast of the Big Island, and we're going to be using GPS coordinates to track it down. Now the adventure begins, and the ocean conditions are perfect, and the captain tells us we will be arriving at our destination momentarily. Now I'm excited to see this new technology known as the wave glider swimming in the Pacific Ocean. I think I see it, boss. Is that it?
Yeah, it's right there off the starboard side.
All right, we're getting in close and we're gonna see what the wave glider looks like in action. This is about as good as what perpetual motion gets, right out here, taking energy from the water and the swells.
Absolutely, as long as we have surface motion of the waves, we have thrust, which allows us to move forward through the water.
Now, how deep is the ocean here? Because I'm quite, afraid of sharks. Are there big ones you see out here?
Sometimes we do see large creatures. We're in about 170 fathoms of water right now.
All right, well, let's get our dive gear on and hit the water.
Absolutely.
Now this is when Vospadorian gets to work, suiting up and taking a look at the wave glider down below. The production crew's ready, cameras are in the water, and we're about to get into it right now. As we approach the wave glider to get a closer look, I think to myself, this is the first world's wave-powered autonomous marine robot designed to help address the big challenges the world faces, including global climate change, national security, hurricane and tsunami warnings. As we approach the wave glider and seeing it in action, it almost seems as if it's alive. Because of the energy independence, wave gliders are able to persistently gather and communicate ocean data on a far broader scale and with greater timelines than ever before, at a fraction of the cost of traditional solutions. They open up new abilities to map and explore for resources, to protect and secure marine assets, or to conduct groundbreaking scientific research. From the Arctic to the equator, wave gliders are expanding our ability to understand the world's oceans, upon which we depend for food, trade, economics, and the health of our environment. As we come back to the harbor, I think of the wave glider we just left behind and its continuing exploration and explanation of enormous mass amounts of information that comes into them every day. The dawn of recorded history and the digital age will change history forever, and liquid robotics and the wave gliders around the world will continuously update the human race. All right, boss, we just got back off the phone. Welcome back to Third Phase of Moon. My name's Blake Cousins, and we're going to go over the videos for November 2013 submitted right here at Third Phase. Now, let's get to our first video. The JSB 007 UFO Hunter captures of what looks straight out of the movie Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Now let's get to it.
Look at this. So it's gone from hovering, the dogs are barking. Look at this. It's got a slight drone to it. It's coming straight over the top of my house. Look at that. Bloody hell. Beautiful. It's like Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Look at that. My God. That is so beautiful. Oh, I'm going to run out the room in a minute. Falling out the window. I've lost him. How about that? God. Bloody hell, that's fantastic. Oh.
Now for our next video, captured November 2nd from Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. Kurt Young captures two lights dancing in the night skies from his hotel balcony. Now let's get to it.
Yo, what is this? You see that? What is that? Edmonton, Alberta. Where did that other one go? I'll follow this one.
Now for our next video, shot on November 13th, right out of Chicago, Lake Michigan. Cam Smith captures a massive geometric pattern over the night skies. Now let's get to the video right now.
Buried. Incredible. What could be doing that?
Are we going? Are we going?
for our next video shot by Tug Wilson of what people are claiming to be a serpent-like creature in the clouds over Akron, Ohio. You take a look at the video and decide for yourself. We at Third Phase of Moon want to thank everybody who submitted their incredible video for the month of November 2013. And it's not over yet. And if you capture something incredible, you send it to Third Phase via Skype or Facebook. My name's Blake Cousins. Keep your eyes on the skies, and we'll see you again. Welcome back to Third Phase of Moon. My name's Blake Cousins. We're going to be speaking with a Navy veteran that served on the USS Dubuque in regards to an incredible sighting he witnessed in the Pacific. Hey James, thanks for joining us right here at Third Phase Moon. I would like to get into detail of what happened aboard the Navy vessel right here off the Pacific.
So it was early autumn of '86, and my ship was the USS Dubuque. It was home ported in Sasebo, Japan, and we were out of Sasebo bound towards the South China Sea.
Could you go more in depth on the description of what you experienced that night?
Well, what we used to do is, after watches, eve watches, that ended about 10, 11 at night, we'd go above decks outside the ship, which we weren't even really supposed to, and we do exercise. We do a workout. And often we'd stargaze, because a ship at sea, a Navy ship at sea at the time, runs completely darkened, and you can have a great view of the sky. And what happened one night is I looked up and I saw what appeared to be a star at first, a bright star, but then it started moving in these incredible, flying across the horizon from one end to the other and doing these figure-8 patterns and circles, and it was just, never seen anything like it.
Okay, so while you witnessed this, what was your reaction to what you witnessed? What was your prior thought of UFOs, and what did you do immediately after this sighting?
I had absolutely no belief in them whatsoever. I was baffled by what I was looking at. At first I thought perhaps it was a firefly above my head, but then I realized we were 2, 3, 4 days at sea in the middle of the ocean, and what I was looking at was very high up in altitude. And when I saw the motions it was making, I realized it had to be traveling at tens of thousands of miles an hour. It was faster than anything I'd ever seen, faster than even a meteorite.
Tell us about these angles that this unidentified object was, how it maneuvered.
It was, first it kind of rocketed back and forth, and then it started doing almost like an infinity pattern, if you will. Then there was some circles involved, and it moved crazily across the sky.
What was the response from your fellow shipmates to this experience you just had, and did they witness it themselves?
What I did is I went up to what was known as the 04 level, and that's where the lookouts were. on the signal bridge. And I asked the guy on watch if he could see what I was seeing. I thought maybe I was seeing things, and he saw it too. But to my surprise, he wasn't really interested in it so much. He said, oh, maybe it's a shooting star or something, and that didn't make any sense to me because it was just going back and forth. But he was totally disinterested in it. I was very surprised. Well, later in the week, I came across a message while working in the document destruction room of all places, and I saw that it was a report that had been forwarded from the Japanese self-defense force, air self-defense force, and they had been chasing a UFO off the coast of Japan, and they had some radar locks on it, and the report had specific information that they had targeted it with their radar. They hadn't apparently gotten very close to it, but they had radar confirmation of what they were chasing.
As far as the UFO phenomenon, what is your opinion on what the military knows?
In my opinion, the military knows quite a bit about what's going on. I don't think my sighting was the only one. I think our involvement, or the military's involvement, it goes beyond what most people can even imagine. It kind of scares me, to be honest with you.
We want to thank veteran James for sharing his incredible insight in regards to the matter that happened on the USS Dubuque. And if you captured anything amazing, you could contact Third Phase via Skype or Facebook. My name's Blake. Welcome back to Thirdphaseofmoon. My name's Blake Cousins, and we're going to go over incredible videos submitted for the first week of January 2013. For our first video, Manuel Sanchez, UFO hunter from Mexico, captures a metallic cube flying in the air. Now let's get to it right now.
Unidentified flying object. Unidentified flying object. Unidentified flying object.
For our next video, submitted by Dwayne Lovell, while driving in a passenger seat off the slopes of the Mauna Kea on the Big Island, he captures something quite incredible, a flying disc over a cinder cone. Unidentified flying object. Now for our next video, Gary Ablett captures something off the western coast of Australia with his GoPro Hero 3. What was amazing is that he didn't know what he filmed until he got home. Now let's take a look at this quick UFO darting in the sky. We want to thank Dwayne Lovell, Manuel Sanchez, and Gary Ablett for submitting their incredible videos right here at Third Phase of Moon. And if you're lucky enough to capture something incredible like these guys, submit it to us via Skype or Facebook, Third Phase of Moon. Keep your eyes on the skies, everybody. My name's Blake Cousins, and we'll see you again next time. Welcome back to Third Phase of Moon. My name's Blake Cousins. We're going to go over some incredible video just into Third Phase of Moon for the month of September 2013. Nottingham, the UK, John Shirley described to me of what he thought to be a star in the night sky, but it started to move and do incredible maneuvers in the night sky. He grabbed his camera and captured this. Now we zoom things up. We want to get a closer look at this object in the night sky.
Unidentified flying object. Unidentified flying object.
Now for our next set of videos in broad daylight, captured by UFO hunter Manuel Sanchez from Tijuana, Mexico. The first video, what looks to be a massive size object over the skies of Tijuana, Mexico. Now let's get to it. Let's put some heavy brightness and contrast on this so we can see this object in the clouds. Now for the second video Manuel Sanchez submitted to Third Phase of Moon of what looks to be maybe a random trash bag flying in the wind. But after closer analyzation of this incredible video, it looks to be some kind of intelligent design behind its flight patterns. You decide and take a look at this video right now. Now, for our next video, famous abductee Stan Romanek continuously amazes us right here at Third Phase of Moon in regards to his continuing story of alien abduction UFO sightings. Now let's get to the next video he shot over Colorado right before the major floods.
It is, I don't know what day it is, but that's a UFO. I see you up there. Hi. You're beautiful. And thank you for coming. And I'm getting you on video, if you don't mind. Oh, jeez. My heart's racing. Okay. Whatever you are, you're beautiful. Stop, 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 stop. Oh, come on. I've got you. It's September 6th. No, 5th. No, 6th. September 6th, 2013. There's a UFO hanging out right there. It's a real UFO! UFO, UFO! Beautiful UFO!
Oh my god.
Do you see it?
How's that? Oh my god. Where's my phone?
Dude, that stupid light's in the way.
No way! Oh my god!
I got it on film. Yes.
Recorded it this time?
Yes.
We had 2 of them the other night.
That was cool. Did you see it going back and forth?
Red all the way down? It just went down that way. I looked over, I was like, Sammy, what is that?
We want to thank everybody who submits their incredible videos to us right here at Third Phase of Moon. John Shirley from the UK, Manuel Sanchez from Mexico, and Mr. Stan Romnick from Colorado. And if you've captured anything amazing in regards to UFOs like these gentlemen, contact Third Phase of Moon via Skype or Facebook. My name's Blake Cousins, and we'll see you again next time. Series, the best UFOs of 2013. Now let's get started with this video submitted by a U.S. Marine on location in Area 51.
It's atop of a small hill, providing an excellent vantage point of the entire surrounding area.
Andrew, could you tell us, when you first noticed this Ford coming at you, did you feel intimidated in any way? Did you think that they were going to come up there and arrest you?
I had no idea what their intentions were at first. Usually, we've been into that area before, and we've seen them come close, but never that close, and never in broad daylight. So my immediate impression was that of, oh crap, I think they're coming up. So yeah, I was definitely intimidated.
So they're coming right in. Well, that's as close as I've ever seen them. Faces have been obscured in the following photos to protect identity. Look close and you'll realize that they use spotting scopes for observation.
The CIA finally this year admitted Area 51 really exists. Thumbs up for Third Phase of Moon if we could get on location 2014 and see what's inside. Now to our next video. Now, Brent, Manuel Sanchez has been submitting UFO videos from Mexico to Third Phase of Moon for about a year and a half now. Could this be organic or mechanic? That's the question right there. Manuel Sanchez delivers out of Mexico again. Take a look at the video, you decide. Now, Brett, this video was pretty controversial for the year 2013 of what appears to be a flying saucer entering the Pacific Ocean. Great footage right here, Blake. We're pretty captivated when this came in. Is it a hoax or the real deal? You decide. Now for our next video, just submitted today, December 27, 2013, from Costa Mesa, California. Jim Martin captures this orb in the skies at incredible speed.
Camera is on a tripod, falling in the sky. Sweet.
Not only check out this orb, look at these flying fish, a sky rod shooting across the sky. Look at this, we got a great still right here, check it out. Tom captured this video right around the time of the massive Russian meteor over Serbia.
I'm telling you, they look like balls of fire with like something coming off of them as they're really going down.
Take a look at this. We got two of these meteors coming in. They're fireballs, flaming, big trails going on. Could this be a sign of new activity to come? Well, this might be, in 2014, very scary times. We're going to keep our eyes on the skies as far as meteorites or comets. But take a look at this. The perspective in this shot, I really like it.
Did you take that picture?
Look, the birds.
The birds. Ooh, get it with the birds. As a reference. Yeah.
2014 is going to be amazing, but 2013 isn't done yet. That's right, and if you capture anything from now till New Year's, you can submit it to Third Phase of Moon via Skype or Facebook. Thanks again, Brent. Hey, my pleasure. Keep on watching. Welcome back to Third Phase of Moon. My name's Blake Cousins, and we're going to go over the videos that we received for the year 2013. Let's get started with the first one, Brent. All right, Blake, it's been an incredible year. Over 300 videos submitted for the year 2013. Awesome stuff. You know, Brian McPhee from the UK, Scotland, yes, captured this incredible, morphine object in the sky. Let's take a look at it. Let's pull it up. This is some really good stuff by McPhee. Look at how it glitters, and it's actually morphing in the clouds. He captured it with his family. Pretty amazing video, Blake. What would you have to say? I'd have to say this is, again, an unidentified flying object. It's morphine. It's a spectacular color. Let's kick back and take a look at this video for a second. Good. Now we're going to get to our next video submitted by an abductee, and he submitted 2 videos for the year 2013, Mr. Stan Romanek. Oh yes, Mr. Stan. This picture of the alien, Stan explains to us that the alien took a picture of himself messing around with Stan's camera. It's a selfie. The new selfies, people are taking selfies all the time. This is actually one amazing footage. Could this be the first selfie of an alien ever? You know, let's everybody take a look at this picture and we'll get on to Stan Romanek's next video. It was caught during a surveillance. He had surveillance equipment on his house and he managed to capture this incredible light that zoomed over his home. What do you make of it, Brent? People say in the comments that it's some sort of string with some sort of light and it's kind of gliding along the path that it was set. Possible hoax. I don't think so. This is we're zoomed in, we're not seeing no string attached to it. The vibrancy of this light is quite amazing. It actually illuminates a front yard there. All right, Blake, tell us what we got next here. Well, our next video was submitted by a person named Bob Evans. He's been studying the SOHO imagery from NASA, and what he's captured and shared with us was quite astonishing. Could this be the Anunnaki massive mother wing ship right there in this photograph and the amazing photos he submitted? It's possible. We're taking a look at it. These things would be basically the size of the planet Earth. To think about that's quite astounding, and something that big being in our solar system. All right, our next video, we have to give condolences to the Marcel family. We were privileged enough to speak with him, and he came on our radio show, and it was his last interview. Jesse Marcel Jr., famous son to the man that handled the crash evidence from Roswell, New Mexico. Very sad day. He died within a week after our first interview we did with him. He did share a lot of these incredible insight stories of him on the scene the day his father brought this alien material. He actually handled the material, and he still can't to this day know what it was. Was it an alien material? He believes it was. Let's just listen to some of the Marcel interview right now.
Bill Brazel, who was the rancher's son, kept a little piece of it in his saddlebags there on the ranch there, and word got out that he had a piece of it, and some very official people came and got it for him.
Now for our next video, shot July 4, 2013 by Mahmoud and family. It's incredible videos. This is a TR-3B reverse engineered alien technology. Hard telling, Blake, but what's best about it, his son actually got a second angle, and we got it right here. Let's take a look at it.
Holy crap, there goes more. There's more. There's more UFOs. Like, I don't know, what the hell? There's like a bunch of blinking lights.
Our radio show receives millions of hits throughout the year, but the biggest one was the Area 51 J-Rod story, Escape from Area 51. Brent? J-Rod, an incredible story. Apparently, he escaped from Area 51 through a Stargate. Brent, also this incredible interview from Dr. Stephen Greer in regards to his movie Sirius, and he spoke to us about the 6-inch alien. Incredible footage. Apparently this is 90% human, the other 10% we don't know what it is. It's great stuff. When I saw this first video, Brent, I was kind of shocked in the beginning. Could this have been an alien skull found underneath a person's home? People thought this was an alien discovery. It turned out to be the skull of a cat. Joe Rodriguez, a detective out of LA, captures something amazing on a stakeout. Rodriguez, we've been standing online right now. Okay, so Brent was talking to Joe a little earlier, and I'm just getting the phone call. Joe, what's going on over there in Los Angeles? You got something? Well, go ahead.
Yes, this morning at about, I'm not sure what time it was, early in the morning, I was waiting for my subject to leave her home.
Wait a second.
Wife.
Okay, let me ask you, what do you mean your subject? What were you doing prior to this UFO sighting that we're about to see?
I'm a private investigator, been a private eye for a while, for about 20 years.
Brent, this I'd have to say is one of the best, if not greatest videos of all time, or it could be the biggest hoax. Submitted by Lance Robertson from Colorado, Thanksgiving night. It was late, we posted it. It was a sensation on the net. Incredible stuff. What do you have? Do you think it's real, Blake? You know, I'm just going to be on the fence on this one. It's incredible. Everybody take a look at it. Which ones do we have first on the list right here? Let's take a look, Blake. All right, Blake, I'm pulling up a story that we did a couple months ago about the ghost and the white lady in a small town of Pueblo. Tell us about it. Well, what's amazing is that the whole town has paranormal activity written all over it. They've seen the white lady for themselves. But what shocked me is when we interviewed this man in front of his home, he explained on how they found the white lady's body when she killed herself, bloated. But 2 days later, Brent.
So people were trying to find them. Some guys walk from the top of the box, come down the couch. When they found them, she was hanging up already. She was all bloated already. Yeah, a couple days later, we're watching the news, Hawaii news, and it was breaking news about this house that burnt down in Pueblo. We kind of looked at each other, and we're wondering, could this be the house and the interview of this guy that we just did? And it turned out his house went down in flames. He survived. He wasn't injured, but we got the actual footage. Let's pull up that file right now. Unfortunately, 2 days after the interview that you just saw right here at Third Phase of Moon about the Pueblo ghost lady, the house behind me has burnt down, and it is very unfortunate. Just 2 days after our interview, his house burns to the ground. Is this the curse of the white lady? Well, if you want us to do a nighttime investigation, paranormal activity hunt, thumbs up and we'll do it in 2014. Now let's get to our next video that we're going to bring up. Dr. Stephen Greer, the movie Sirius came out, but he told us about this false flag invasion. Well, he's actually saying the military's genetically engineering humans to look like aliens, to abduct them, basically a false flag, and pretend that these aliens are actually from another universe.
That these creatures that have been made in a number of laboratories over the years and become better and better really do look like a non-human humanoid, but they're man-made. And these have been used in conjunction with these man-made anti-gravity devices to simulate things like abductions and mutilations and what have you.
The Alien Human Project, young Jack Graham, only 14, got to speak with the world-famous Dr. Roger Lear in regards to alien implants.
Now, where in the body do most implants usually come from?
Well, that's an interesting question of where we find them in the body. What we've come to the conclusion is that they have to be in areas that are relatively superficial and near a bone.
What's amazing is there's actual nanotechnology that were found in these implants. And the technology's been around for only 4 or 5 years, and these implants are about 15 to 20 in their age. Wow, let's get to the next one. The exo-politician himself, Stephen Bassett, did the congressional hearing in Washington, D.C., and he allowed us pretty much full coverage of the whole aspect. Quite amazing.
Yeah, he gave us full access and actually let us put clips of the actual meeting going on there. Let's take a look at one of them right now.
Which is the growth plates. You know when you have, the growth plates in a kid and they hurt their leg? The growth plates and the bone density is that of a 6 to 8 year old. All right, now call me crazy, but I'm just a doctor. But I can tell you, I've taken care of a lot of children that are 6 and 8 year olds. I've never seen one 6 inches tall. This is 6 inches, 13 centimeters. What 6 to 8 year old can live to be only 6 inches tall?
This was a historic interview we had at Third Phase of Moon. Edgar Mitchell, astronaut, he said incredible stuff in this interview.
He gave us a little insight. He actually believes there's actual moon bases on the far side of the moon. Incredible stuff.
Let's listen to an excerpt right now.
Because the knowledge is out, well-educated people are accepting the fact and the evidence, I don't want to say the fact, the evidence that said we've been visited, and I think some of the strongest evidence is that our missile silos that carried intercontinental missiles over the years between the 40s and the 60s were routinely visited by alien spacecraft, and the missiles disarmed. And most people know that.
2013, I'd say, would be the year of the UFO summoners. Mr. Robert Bingham started it all. He created a following and actually taught people how to summon UFOs. Let's take a look at one of the events at Hollandale Park.
That was amazing because that was the pinnacle of equipment, yet everybody had cameras in the sky.
They certainly did, and just continuously comes in. We just received about, I would say, Brent, about 100 emails this morning with attachments via video, via photographs, and like you're saying, this fleet of UFOs that early in the day over there at Hollandale, we did receive these photos, and we'll be posting right here at Third Phase of Moon, and they were described to us by Jonathan Castro.
The fleet came in, I spotted them first, and that's when I called Robert and hey, check out the fleet, and that's when they started coming. They were pretty high, but then they just kept their speed, they maintained it. And instead of a V shape, they were like it was like a V and then a Y shape.
Jonathan Castro, Jim Martin, Fausto Perez are UFO summoners. They claim they've learned it from Mr. Robert Bingham. Brent, now we do receive videos from around the world, and some people want to remain anonymous. And this is one of them that I want to show you. This weird contraption thingamajig. What is it?
Up here. They come in all shapes and sizes. It could be a drone, hard telling, maybe some anti-gravity going on. You decide.
To me, it seems like a military, test vehicle, but I could be mistaken. Tell me about Mohad Adid, Blake. What I like about this video, and we've received a few this year, we're going to go over them right now, are the videos from within airplanes, which are capturing anomalies outside the window. Take this one, for instance, Mohad Hadi from Qatar. People say that this is a balloon. Being such a high altitude. Brent, take a look at this second video, again from within an airplane, shot 2013, submitted by a girl named Liz. There's something to this video. Take a look at it. It's quite amazing, the angelic look to it, but there is some sort of contrail behind it. Could it be a jet airliner reflecting off the sun? Well, it possibly could be, but it definitely is unidentified in my book. Brent, take a look at this video submitted from UFO Hunter, one of my favorites, the JSB 007. He claims this is some kind of a bat wing, maybe new military action. What do you say, Brent? I think this year he's delivered us probably 30 videos so far. Look at it, gives this afterburn. It's awesome stuff. Great job.
Gliding now. Look at that beauty.
another one we're getting to again for the year 2000. Famous abductee. We're going over his videos again. Another incredible capture from Colorado. Mr. Stan Romanek. The whole neighborhood goes in shock on this one. Absolutely, he actually runs door to door and wakes the neighborhood up. I like that about Stan. He has the guts and the courage to actually call the neighborhood, and they all saw it. It was an amazing sighting by Stan Romanek.
UFO, UFO. Beautiful UFO.
No way. Oh my God.
Do you see it?
Call Dad.
Now let's go over some of the incredible photos of 2013. I want to get to Louis D's video of this, cylindrical, classic-shaped UFO. Definitely a classical cylindrical shape. And what was amazing to me is a day after we posted this video, we were doing our live radio show, and Joaquin Elias submitted a very similar object that he saw this photo first and wanted to contact Third Phase of Moon. Let's take a look at this. Now, this second photo that we're going to go over, submitted to Third Phase of Moon, Rain Carlson sent us this incredible, what is it, a trajector beam shooting straight up into outer space. What an incredible still. Maybe some sort of extraterrestrial transport, we don't know, but it is a beautiful photo nonetheless.
Unidentified flying object. Unidentified flying object.
Now, Brent, from Long Island, New York, Russell Mariano submitted this video that was captured New Year's Eve. Take a look, a massive sighting. People say that these may be flares on New Year's Eve. They could be, but let's let the public decide for themselves. With the mass crowds being on the location, I'm going to have to take the word from the ground and their perspective that they don't know what it is. Hey Brett, thanks again for joining us on this second episode of the best UFOs of 2013. Appreciate it, Blake. Thanks for having me. And if you've captured anything amazing in regards to UFOs, you can contact Third Phase of Moon via Skype or Facebook. My name's Blake Cousins, and we'll see you again next time.
Essentially what's in the water, and the wave glider is actually quite effective at that.
Well, speaking of getting into the water, I can't wait to get in the water and see these things in action.
Absolutely.
So we're here at the version of NASA's Mission Control Liquid Robotics right here in the state of Hawaii. Can you tell us what the data is right here on the computer screen and what's it representing?
So right now we're looking at our user interface. We're looking at a handful of vehicles right now that are out in our op area right out here west of Kauai High. From this, essentially from this screen, we have the ability to monitor the vehicle's speed over ground, path over ground, its desired heading, water speed, current speed, which it calculates, current speed and heading, which it calculates, as well as its lat and long, battery power, basically all the sort of telemetry, baseline telemetry of the vehicles. We also have the ability to essentially reprogram their courses and communicate to the vehicle through this interface. It's a web interface, so we can communicate with the vehicle anywhere you have an internet connection.
The production crew and I are briefed on safety instructions. Free diving in the Pacific is serious. Welcome back to Third Phase of Moon. My name's Blake Cousins. Join me along with my brother Brent as we go on location in the Pacific Ocean looking for drones of the sea. On location at Kauai Harbor on the Big Island, we're going to be speaking with Hawaiian Operations Manager Voss Pedorian. Voss, how did you come up with the idea of the wave glider? How did it come about?
The wave glider came about in an effort to transmit whale songs ashore, specifically into one of the founders' living rooms.
Can you tell us why here in Hawaii?
One of the founders actually lives here in Puuko. A lot of the efforts that occurred originally to pipe the whale songs into the living room really occurred there. And it was sort of a natural progression here in Puuko.
If you look at the design on this, it exactly resembles sky rods or, you know, the skyfish. Absolutely incredible. What is the theory behind the design?
So the main theory behind the wave glider is that we take vertical wave motion at the surface and turn it into forward motion of the vehicle. That really essentially happens with our ability to harness vertical wave motion into direct forward thrust. Very similar, really in effect to when you stick your hand out the window on the freeway and tilt it, its lift is created and creates the sort of forward motion with your hand.
What's the maximum speed that these things can travel over the surface of the water with the glider underneath?
We do somewhere typically between 1.5 and 1.8 knots.
And it's using entirely the force and the swells of the ocean to self-power itself, correct?
Absolutely. So we basically turn vertical wave motion into forward thrust.
Canada, France, and Keck are here in Hawaii, and there's something special about it, and you're here in Hawaii. Can you tell us what makes it so special?
Much for the same reasons that they're here, in the sense of the environment that it gives us for testing and evaluation. It allows us to essentially test about 300 days a year. We have the ability, being right here in Kauai High, we have easy access to some very dynamic sea states. We can be right out here on the west side off of Kauai High, and the weather can be very, very calm, much like it is today. We can go just a few miles out around the point, up towards Upolu.
The lifetime of the wave glider?
They're currently, essentially we like to keep them out anywhere from 6 to 12 months.
Well, these things, what is the price range for one of these?
This vehicle, as you see it here, runs between 175 and about 200,000.
Wow, do you worry about maybe pirates out in the open ocean coming across one of these things and, you know, taking these things out and selling it on the market?
Well, I don't think we've had any stolen that I'm aware of. They're an incredibly difficult vehicle to actually to recover if you're not trained to do it.
Boss, who is your biggest client for the wave glider?
Right now, we have essentially probably a shared market between the oil and gas business and the Department of Defense.
Wow, what is the Department of Defense using with the wave glider?
I don't know if I can answer that.
I want to talk about your biggest, or one of the biggest clients, big oil industry. If there were a, you know, natural disaster, big oil spill in the ocean, could these wave gliders help and clean in the assistance?
Absolutely. So recently we've assisted in cleanup efforts, more specifically more measurement efforts, in that it's a data harvesting tool. We have the ability to measure point and be out in Alenuihaha Channel, which is a pretty intense marine environment.
Well, it's going to be quite amazing. A little bit later, we're going to be on location, going out on the boat and seeing on how the wave glider works. I can't wait, but I got a couple other questions for you. Can we take a look at the warehouse in the back?
Absolutely.
All right. The CEO of your company claims that 90% of the Earth's oceans have still yet to be discovered. We know more about space than the ocean. Do you think it's possible that these craft could capture on film, since they have the cameras, a creature that we still don't know, some kind of leviathan?
I would say that that's plausible. The vehicle is a data harvesting tool, so any number of sensors are integrated into the vehicle, so depending on what you're trying to measure and look for, I would say that it's possible, for sure.
Well, you might get lucky one of these days capturing the smoking gun footage of an amazing creature right there on the surface of the ocean.
That would be exciting. So we have the ability to communicate with the vehicle through satellite connection. That occurs through this dome here. This is an Iridium satellite connection. We have the ability to stream all of our data, as well as telemetry and communication information through that connection.
What's